You are a funny guy. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another edition, a great edition of Great Convos. I'm Roger Caesar, and that gentleman over there.
Hey, Roger, I'm Alexandre. Matt, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Wait, you didn't ask me yet. How are you, Roger?
I'm good. I am good. I'm actually I'm fabulous. Man, we've had a lot of things to celebrate. First of all, thank you to our loyal listeners who come in every single week to listen to us. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate it. It is St. Patrick's Day today. To all those who are celebrating, happy St. Patrick's Day to you. It is also my oldest daughter's birthday today, so I am celebrating her 30th birthday today. I'm really happy about that. It's been a crazy one, really crazy one so far. And how about you, Alex?
Well, it's a birthday for your daughter, but we also had some special news from Rose Nixon, who does the cover titles and promotion for our show. She's also the regular butt kicker when we need her to be. Yes. And what's her news? Well, she recently became a grandmother. So congratulations and all the best, Rose. I can tell you this afternoon, I'm going to go meet some students and maybe some faculty members of the local university here and share some secrets on how to be stress-free when you speak publicly. It sounds catchy in French. I guarantee it.
Oh, and we also, hey, why don't we just say hello to Kathy as well, who got her DTM, her medal finally. So congratulations to you once again for jumping in and becoming a DTM. Welcome to the club for that as well.
Now, Roger, we've got a great episode. I'm feeling really great about this one. We always say that, well, I really like it when we can almost have these great conversations because of disagreements, not in spite of them. And I hope that we can have this today. The title of the episode is "You're the Average of the 5 People You Spend the Most Time With." That's a quote from Jim Rohn. How old is that quote? About 40 years old. And it's on the importance of networking, of having networks, having important, surrounding yourself with the people who can help you, right?
Right.
But when you really dig into it, is that actually true? Well, our guest is going to share with us what she thinks about it. How about a quick clip of our guest, and then you can introduce her?
Of course.
January, I took my 88-year-old grandmother on a road trip to see her 92 and 94-year-old best friend up north. Now, some of you know that I'm a new driver. I pushed through 30 years of fears to become a driver. And my grandmother is losing her memory. So every 20 minutes for the 6-hour drive, she would say, "Wow, you are an amazing driver. You drive just like Grandpa did." I felt like Mario Andretti by the time I got there. That was the highlight of the trip.
Oh, man, I was there that night. That is the Grand Slam for Speaker Slam. And, man, we have with us the superstar, the entrepreneurial megastar, as I want to call her, a good friend of mine and the co-founder of Speaker Slam, and amongst other projects that she has as well. Please, let's give a warm welcome for Rina Rovinelli.
Thank you. I loved that glowing introduction. You nailed it.
How you doing? How are you?
I'm so great. I've just never been better, and I'm excited to be here. Like Roger, you and I have been friends forever, and I love what you guys are doing, and I love great conversations, so I'm thrilled to be here.
You're globetrotting right now. You're in which country at the moment?
So I'm currently in Costa Rica. I'm on this no more waiting to live journey. Like I'm in my 50s now, and I just want to get out there and live my best life. So I'm doing a digital nomad tour with my 22-year-old daughter and just experiencing the most amazing things so far.
That is a thrill all on its own. So many of us would love to be able to have that moment where we could just take a year off and just go on an amazing excursion and live in the moment. Congratulations on really, first of all, saying yes to doing it. Hashtag John Romero, say yes and figure it out later. But thank you very much for sharing that. I mean, this is awesome. So we are going to hop right into it. First and foremost, tell us your view on this particular conventional wisdom about you're the average of 5 people you spend the most time with.
Okay, so I'm very big on community, and I do believe that that's super important. But when I hear this saying, to me, it just screams that bro marketing. Like you could see Gary Vee or like David Goggins yelling it, like you're the sum of the 5 people. And it's not very holistic. It's very one-dimensional. And for me, growth takes place in the contrast, right? It's in the challenge. It's not being in an echo chamber of 4 similar people and you're all driving towards the same thing. It's in the contrast to other people where you're learning other things. And the truth is, like when I look at my own friends, I have a friend who's really into fitness and boxing, and she challenges me to want to be more fit. And I have a friend who's into spirituality, and she's really woo-woo, and she really helps me want to be more spiritual. And I have friends who are business-minded. And I think I grow as a person and I evolve as a person and I become a more beautiful version of myself as a person when I surround myself with people that aren't just like me, but who are different from me. And so I kind of go away from that wisdom about just like getting a huddle with 4 people who are like you, because it's very one-dimensional and there's no guarantee that where you end up is where you're really meant to end up in this world.
Okay, but Rina, aren't you contradicting yourself by saying if you're looking for contrasting people to influence you, it means you're spending time with people with from whom you want to be closer? Or
Oh, I mean by I'm spending time with people that maybe have differences from me because I'm learning from them, I'm growing from them. And we make this mistake where we come out and we say, I want to be a millionaire, or I want to be a bodybuilder, I want to be a speaker, as though that identity encapsulates everything we're supposed to be as a human. Now imagine you went into a room with speakers and you spent every minute of every day just becoming a speaker, and now one day you're 60, you're 70, you're the world's greatest speaker, but you don't go to the gym, you don't spend time with your family, you don't go to church, do you know what I mean? Like you're just in there driven like it's the end all and be all. And the truth is we're always evolving as humans to kind of step into our identity. You don't necessarily know your identity. So to sort of claim it and just say, this is it for me, this is what I'm gonna be a millionaire, that's all I care about. I just feel like you end up in this echo chamber with other people that are on that same path and you just don't end up reaching your full potential.
I like how you said that, because I had 2 feelings with regards to this. When I was younger, I truly believed that I had to be around people that would elevate me in some way, shape, or form to what I would want to be. I figured that I was around the wrong type of people at that time. Now it's a little different. I mean, I think that I could agree somewhat on what you're saying, in that there's different people that you want to have all around that will elevate you in ways that you never thought possible, not just in one realm. And I like how you put that. But it does go with the theory in some ways that if I even have those different people around me, they're still going to be the type of people that I want to be around that will help me to be a better person. Wouldn't you agree in that sense?
So I agree, but here's the thing, the comment, you are the sum of the 5 people, is very limiting. For me, I have 100 friends. I'm in the speaker world, I'm in the personal development world, I'm in the spiritual world. I have 100 people and I never limit myself. And further to that, it is sometimes the people that have brought me the most strife, that have challenged me the most, who have been the biggest source of my growth, right? So you may want to be rich, but when you're hanging around someone who has a really bad money mindset, you're making a note and you're saying, I don't want to be that, or I want to learn from that. I want to do different than that. There are people that are different that give you empathy. So I just don't like to be in that vacuum of the 5 people, because like I said, it gives me this image of people that are just driven and for a goal, a very specific goal, and that's what their whole life is focused on. And we're just so much more than that.
It sounds like you don't want to limit yourself to 5 people. Is it even possible that you would be able to to identify who those 5 people are?
Okay, so for me, for example, I have many friends and I have friends that I'm closer with, but the way I look at it is that if you look at people that share your values, like I value freedom and I value personal growth and I value experiences. So there are all kinds of people, rich people, fit people, spiritual people, creative people that share those values. So when I go out into this world, I try and find people that share those values and I experience that. So I'm never really limited to sort of one goal or one title, and I'm not sort of heading down that direction. I'm just growing holistically.
So it's more about the value than the experience. Would you say it that way then? If the people that you want around you have great values, or is it more, or is it more about the values, or is it more about the experiences that they bring?
It is both. It is shared values and then shared experiences without having to have a label of exactly who they are and without having to identify that it's just 5 of us, right? I would never, and Roger, you and I met, we were in the speaker world, we're in the Toastmaster world originally, and we had friends that were Toastmasters. And it's easy to end up being in a environment that feels cultish, right? In anything, like, if you just go to the gym and talk about creatine and exercises and certain thing, protein, like you just get in this sort of cult-like world where you're not as well-rounded. So we're both Toastmasters, but you and I, we've spread our wings and we're involved with so many different groups and people and experiences, and that's what makes us so wonderful.
Yeah, no question about it.
I heard you say, Rina, in another interview that you used to invite your friends to go to places where you wanted to go, but they refused to go or they canceled. So you found new friends where those places were.
Yes. Okay, so that's the number one mistake people make.
Yeah.
So they invite their friends, they have this current friends, and maybe you're in that group with 5 that you're talking about, and you're all trying to be millionaires, and you want to go and see a play or you want to go to the theater, but they don't want to take time away from like hustling to become a millionaire. And so you end up feeling alone and isolated. So I've always said, rather than try and convert the friends you have, go to do the things that you want to do, and you will meet like-minded people. I'm traveling. I just met a friend in Dominican. I've invited her on another trip in the future, and I met her while traveling. Do you know how hard it is for me to convince my friends back home to come traveling? They don't want to come. They want to come, but they have limitations and they can't maybe get away from work or life. So
there's a little.
She did say that this would happen. So from where she is, we
I
will.
met other people traveling, and now we're going to travel together. So follow.
Rina is very far away, so we'll catch up when she comes back. Roger, I'm going to ask her if it's not about the 5 people you spend the most time with, is there another conventional wisdom or quote, whether it's known or not, whether it's popular or not, that she lives by?
Yeah, I think that would be something that we would ask her if there's something that really connects with her. Hey, Rina, you're back now. That's okay. We knew this would happen. We were well aware, so we kept talking. It's okay. But here's a question that we will ask you. Maybe you could just finish off what you were saying there really quickly. But the question that Alex wants to go ahead, Alex, quickly ask her.
Well, if it's not about the 5 people you spend most time with, like, is there another conventional wisdom or saying, whether it's popular or not, that you live by, that has shaped who you are and what you've done? And perhaps you can tie it in with the creation or the co-creation of the biggest speech competition in Canada.
Okay, so for me, there's a couple things that I live by. One of them is leap and the net will appear. I am all about taking risks. It's what really lights me up. My business partner and I have been running Speaker Slam now for almost a decade. And in 2018, we both quit our jobs. We jumped in. We had one event that we would run every month or two, and we quit and we thought, oh, wow. So now we're running this business. How are we going to support ourselves on our one event? But the net appeared, we ended up having so many incredible things come of that. And so we built this beautiful business because of it. So really my philosophy these days is just jump and the net will appear. And it's happened for travel. It's happened for most of the things in my life. And so that's where I put a lot of my energy, just taking these big risks.
It's funny, and Alex, you may not know this, but the very first ever, this is a little trivia, the very first ever Speaker Slam event. I was the very first speaker to go on the stage of her very first one. And I remember Rina saying, I want to do this crazy idea. I've got this crazy idea that I want to start this speaking competition and have a lot of fun. And man, from where it started to where it is now, Alex, this is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. You have to come down from Sudbury and make the trip and be able to go to one of the shows and see what happens at these shows. Rina, just quickly tell us, with regards to taking that leap, how did it all start? Like, where was your mindset? You were a former Toastmaster. Where did it all start with you and Dan and getting to where you are now?
So Dan and I, again, two friends, completely unlikely friends, 17-year difference. And yet we both were aligned with our goals for freedom and personal development. We were both in a personal development program, and they were challenging him to create a community project. And so we started to research projects, and we were both Toastmasters at the time. And we said, what can we do that's a little bit similar but different? And I remember I went to Roger and I was like, Roger, I need you. I need your help right now. Like, I got to get this off the ground. And he, of course, jumped in to help me. And where it started, because we had 80 people in a small room. We've had events with 600 people now. We've had 500 million views on our videos in the last 10 years with viral partners. My partner is now a publicist. He has people on Breakfast TV, The Social, Global News every day. You can see, like, where we've taken it from where we started is incredible. And it just all started with that one risk. And again, by me having a friend who wouldn't have been in my 5 if I had to choose it, he was completely different from me. And that he just brings everything into my life that's positive, and he's helped shape the woman I am today.
Wait a minute, Rina, you said something like we had goals that we wanted to reach, but this morning on LinkedIn, you wrote about this show. We're going to talk about goal setting, and I'm against that.
Yes.
So how do you square those two things?
This is almost like in the alignment with my idea around 5 friends when I talk about goals. I think people sometimes create these goals. They say, okay, I want to be a TEDx speaker, or I need to have a house here. I want to be a millionaire. And then they become singularly focused on that goal. And everything is just about getting there. And when they get there, sometimes it's anticlimactic. Sometimes it's not what they even really wanted. You know, sometimes they're let down. Now they got to start chasing the next goal. And for me, it's always in the process, right? It's the process of having a desire or a passion and just starting to go through the process of getting there and not being attached to, and I've never had any attachment towards being a 7-figure earner or having this many people. No, let's see what this blossoms into. Let's see where we end up with it. So with goals, like when I see people that are in their group of 5 and they're focused on their one goal, I find it super limiting, you know. And again, I'll go back to that word about having this holistic life. It's just about having a value and creating experiences and heading in a direction and seeing where life takes you.
Were you always like this?
I think probably not. Probably I've evolved over time. And one of the things, like being involved with Speaker Slam, we have an inspirational speaking competition. So everybody that gets on our stage shares these incredibly inspiring stories of overcoming adversity or great challenges. And it can't help but shape your perspective. Like, I've just seen some people that have had to overcome so much, have beautiful lives, you know, and try the hardest and have the most fulfillment and make the most impact. And so it's been 1,000 people that have shaped the woman I've become today, not 5. And I'm so grateful for that.
I think it's also just the way in which life is, that sometimes the road is never straight. You have curves, you have turns, you have bumps, you have bruises. There's different things that happen. And sometimes you may veer off on another direction on that path. And sometimes it still gets you back to where you were wanting to go, but you learn a couple other things along the way. Would you say it that way then?
Absolutely. And I'm very spiritual, so I believe in letting the universe guide you. And like, I had something that I was interested in doing back home, and I was making plans, and it kind of went left, didn't work. And I didn't blink. I was like, okay, I'm not meant to do this. Let's keep going and see what's next for me. I don't get attached to that outcome of that goal or desire, because the universe will bring you in the direction you're meant to be. And like, I'm here now in Costa Rica. I would have never imagined that. I'm trying to balance having a business and having this dream adventure life. I'm here with my Wi-Fi going in and out, but we're getting through this, right? I'm able to be here.
It worked out. It worked out. Rina, wow. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your expertise, and your experiences on our show. Is there any way, if anybody wants to get a hold of you or wants to join your program or be a part of Speaker Slam, where can they get a hold of you?
Okay, so our website is speakerslam.org, but I'm easy to find on Instagram or Facebook, the Rina Rovinelli. And we have a competition coming up in March, Roger, you should come, March 25th at Lula Lounge, the No Risk, No Reward. Right now we have 4 spots for the Power of No in May. And what I just want to say about this is that our platform is really about people using their story to inspire the world and make impact. And then we help them take that experience and build momentum and just leverage it to have incredible success in their lives. So if you are like wanting to build momentum, come and find us. You're going to fall in love with what we do.
Awesome.
And just watching these videos online is amazing. The quality of the production is over the top. And what you've done and what you have done with some partnerships, including with Goldcast, for some of your participants, they've gone viral, millions of views online, and they can make a true lucrative career out of speaking. And it just started with one story.
Yes,
amazing work.
My partner's whole goal is to have the best production possible, because it is those videos and those photos the speakers get to use on their speaker reel or on press when they're going on TV. So we put a lot of emphasis on that. So I love that you've noticed that, Alex. It's great.
Yeah, shout out to Dan. Hello, Dan. We have to probably get Dan on the show at some point as well.
You need Dan. He has a great perspective. You need him.
Yes. Well, we've come to the end of the program today, the show. We thank you again, Rina, for being here. Even from Costa Rica, Wi-Fi, everything, you still managed to come through and give us a lot of great nuggets. We appreciate you. And to our loyal listeners, thank you again for being a part of the conversation. Please keep the convo going. Find out if this words of wisdom is actually something you follow or not. But as we say all the time here, whether you agree or disagree, you can always find great convos. Take care, everyone.
Let's go leap.